Hi Heather, this is my attempt to communicate using some of the technologies that I speak about. So first of all, I'm actually using a free technology right now called QuickTime Player that comes installed on every Mac or iMac or MacBook Pro. I'm assuming it comes with the majority of Mac products. So first, why educational technology in distance education? And what about the looming effects and the cost that's associated? Well, first, I think that the technologies that are available break down that transactional distance barrier that we all seem to have to target in we're learning about in studying distance education. Whether it is a synchronous form or asynchronous or just in with the tools that I'm using right now. I'm using Photo Booth as to capture this video, which also comes with any Mac product. Let's then also take a look at sections analysis. I like the fact that we have the ability to assess any type of tool that is useful. Most things such as this Google Cardboard that we refer to, they cost money, yes. Are they worth it? Well, it's hard to say. Let's break it down with a sections analysis. I find that the sections analysis has been probably the most useful tool, and I still try to keep everything that I use as inexpensive as possible. So here we go, sections analysis. We should grasp that because at this point I think it's the one tool that is available. Again, I like to use freeware as often as possible. Again, so I'm using QuickTime Player and Photo Booth to present this to you right now. YouTube is another free tool that's available, and why not use it? I had some students do this project, and I found just thinking about the future of education, integrating holograms. Just take a quick peek.
Microsoft has been working on HoloLens for the last few years. It would be a wearable technology that would allow people to see 3D images anywhere. Imagine being in your kitchen, look at the refrigerator, you could see what's inside it, its life cycle, and much more information. Meantime, what about being able to communicate with a plumber? They could see what you're looking at through the device, and then you would see arrows point to maybe where a pipe is leaking and how to tighten it up with the instructions right there, viewable to yourself.
So let's just, that alone, I mean, how can we not think about how a tool like that would be so useful in distance education? It breaks down that that transactional distance. In fact, it brings your instructor and your classmates, for that matter, right to your living room. And one more thing, so that was the holograms that I wanted to refer to. And then one more thing that I have found very useful, and of course we have to keep in mind, mobile devices. Youngsters of this next generation, they're raised as mobile natives and digital natives. So they're used to having games and touchscreen tablets and such to communicate with. And one thing that I've just recently discovered, and I'm finding this very useful, and I'm going to share it. So I have just highlighted all of the text that you have in your comment. I'm right-clicking. I'm going to speech, and I'm going to click Start Speaking.
I feel like I've been asleep with respect to the tech world recently. I had to Google Cardboard. I have seen the VR type videos via YouTube, which are amazing. Having access to a VR tool like this reminds me of the app explosion
right click, speech, stop speaking. I apologize, Heather, for using a male voice, but I find his voice, this is Alex, and he is very easy to listen to. I'm going to go up to my Apple and go into System Preference, Speech, and choosing a different voice or the speed at which that voice is going to speak. And now if I wanted to, I could then record this to a mobile device and listen to it while I'm on the treadmill or taking my son to soccer practice or whatever it happens to be, waiting for him to complete soccer practice. So needless to say, these tools are here and they're available, and and they're free. This costs me nothing to be able to do any of this. And then I will now upload this to YouTube. And call me crazy, but I think this is part of what makes being in education at this time so exciting. Never before has any of this stuff ever been even an option.